Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 3. Just a couple of housekeeping items, things that are coming your way. I did this week do a lecture video. It is almost 1 full hour. It actually is a long video, and I apologize for that, but your homework this week, it's intense. But don't fret because I was able to complete all the homework except for the chapter reading. I didn't do that just yet. It probably took me maybe a half a day to do everything. That's the quiz. The simulation doesn't take that long this week. I rather enjoyed the simulation. In fact, the simulation this week is a whole lot easier than last week. I don't know if it's because maybe I kind of understand what I'm doing now in my IT lab or maybe just how it was set up. The only trouble that I did have with the simulation was that down at the bottom, it has the question. Once you complete the question, it'll move to the next one, but it shows all the questions, but the one you're on is like highlighted or bolded, and then the other ones are kind of like grayed out. It's kind of hard to see them, and there's really no way to scroll through. So just be mindful of that. It does pick up on typos. I think we talked about that last week, so be mindful of no typos in when you're doing the simulation. It's asking you to type a couple things. Make sure you read the instructions well. The other thing that we found out, if you've been keeping up and looking in Ask the Instructor tab on the discussion board, only use Google Chrome. Don't use Internet Explorer. Firefox doesn't really work that well either. Other than that, the simulation should be a piece of cake this week. The lecture video that I created is not mandatory that you watch. It's like those supplemental videos from GFC or GCF that I have in the supplemental files for each week. They're not required, although I do put tidbits in there. So you might want to kind of listen to me maybe with your headphones on or your earbuds and do your homework at the same time. There's just a few tidbits that I do put in those videos. Let's see. The other thing is I did miss a couple of points on that. I got a 98 when I submitted it. You can, if you're following along to a T, make sure that you watch. It was hard for me to kind of lecture and then read at the same time, so I missed a couple of steps as I was reading and lecturing and making those moves. So I gave you unlimited attempts in your homework. By the way, when you do your quiz, if you happen to get a couple wrong, you have 2 or 3 attempts on the quizzes as well. Not unlimited, but a couple of attempts on that as well. Speaking of which, because I did get the 98%, I chose not to go back to fix those, but you can. I've had a couple students ask me, should I go back and try to get 100? Yeah, only if you want. Personally, it doesn't matter to me if you have all straight A's. 90 and above is an A in this course. What you really want to be mindful of is, are you understanding the material? Because we're almost done with Word now. We're going to move on to Excel. And pretty soon it'll be time for your exam. You want to be, I guess, I'm trying to look for a word. You really want to be more responsible about the comprehension of the material and not so much the grades. The grades are great, good for you, but it's really about the material. Just because of the final. And Word is very easy for the final, Excel isn't. Now, with that said, I have already this week sent over your names to the testing center. When it's time to take that final, you will need to go through the assessment center. I put some instructions out there to walk through this, but I'll just tell you real quick. So you'll go through the assessment center online, pick either Ada County or Nampa, and then get signed up for that test. So your names are over there and they're ready to go. You also need to start practicing for the final through Gmetrics, and you also need to get registered through Certiport. I have 2 movies for that, Gmetrics and Certiport. There are 4 Certiports for a different class, so if you hear me talking about a different class and you're getting registered for it, just ignore that. But it's the registration piece that I want to walk you through. The other important thing about Gmetrics, which is your practice test, and Certiport, by the way, that's just a third-party platform that owns the rights to Microsoft Office exams. But when you register for both of those, use your login ID and your password that you would use for Blackboard. Leave them the same because you get registered for so many different things. You might not remember what they are. So whatever you log on with Blackboard and whatever password that you type in, let that be your registration password and login ID for Certiport and for Gmetrics. Other than that, that's it for the week, except you do have your research outline due. So don't forget about that, and that's due in my IT lab this week and not in the discussion board. So I think that's it. If you have questions, let me know and Ask the Instructor tab in Blackboard. And good luck this week and try to enjoy it. Bye.